Hello.
Then. Now.
Countdown to the queens.
Episode number 500.
Forever.
Looks like hell froze over.
Without any more further ado,
Together.
let's jump straight into the show. Hello, welcome to episode number 61 of the TEW IX Challenge Run. We're here for ECW for October 9th, 2024. October 29th, 2024. And yeah, we're fresh off the Auckland Assault pay-per-view, which did feature the crowning of a new ECW champion. His name is Warden. He beat Adam Cole on that show, and then after the match, Adam Cole was booted out of his own Paragon by Dolph Ziggler. But yes, tonight we get the follow-up from that. We saw a debut of a new member of the Bloodline in the opening match. Florence retained against Blair Davenport. And also tonight we will see ZSJ and Mustafa Ali one-on-one again. A rematch from High Voltage, plus a Battle of the Gods, the Battle of the Heavens, for the ECW Television Championship, as Kyle O'Reilly, the God, defends against the Messiah. So yeah, without any more further ado, let's jump straight into the show. This is another show where I had a lot of shit I had to try and cram in. So yeah, the problem with me now finding stuff for everybody and getting into like the meat of each of these brand stories is that there's less time to get stuff on, especially on ECW, and I refuse to make ECW 3 hours, so yeah. Anyway, Solo Sikoa opens up the show. He comes to the ring, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, the ECW Tag Team Champions, by his side, plus Big Tala Tonga, who we saw debut at Auckland Assault. And Solo gets into the ring. Tala Tonga puts the Ulafala around Solo's neck. He said, "Tacoma, Washington, acknowledge us." And he starts laughing, like, ha 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 ha. Look at this. Tama, Tonga, look at these people. These people, they fought Roman Reigns and his dysfunctional ass cousins, my trash ass brothers, with the real bloodline. They thought they were the ones. Little do they know this bloodline runs deep, and it's gonna be a rude awakening to Roman Reigns that every single person in that family, apart from him, Jimmy, and Jay, acknowledges me as their tribal chief. And at Auckland, we proved that, because once the Roman says he comes out here, we smashed him. We smashed Jay, we smashed Jimmy. I stuck my thumb in Roman's stupid ass throat. He won't be saying acknowledge me around here no more, cause his mouth won't be able to say it. But of course, that brings me to the big ass elephant in the room. Meet Tala Tonga. As you may be able to tell by his dashing good looks and his name, Tala Tonga, the younger brother of the ECW Tag Team Champions of Tama Tonga and the infamous Tonga Loa. The most dangerous man from the Pacific Islands. The most dangerous Polynesian on the planet. And the newest member of my bloodline. You see, Auckland, that was just the first step in bloodline dominance. You see, Tama and Tonga Loa, they're already the tag team champions. And there's one thing missing from me. One thing that will make me undeniably the tribal chief. Something that Roman Reigns had, and Roman Reigns didn't appreciate what he had. That beautiful, piece of silverware that is the ECW World Championship. Now, Warden, he and I, we've been fighting the same battle for a long-ass time now. And I appreciate him putting Roman Reigns' ass in the dirt 2 weeks ago. But now he's got something I want. So, Warden, I saw what happened to Adam Cole in Auckland. He ain't gonna be around here. Hell, Roman Reigns sure as hell ain't gonna be around here. As a matter of fact, we're done with that fake-ass yesterday's news washed up has-been tribal chief. This is my island now. In fact, I don't want to hear any of you say his name.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Out come Joeman. And they walk out. They don't say anything, they just walk out onto stage. And then Braun Strowman and Joe Hendry do get into the ring. And they sort of look across at Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. And Solo just laughs and goes, "These guys, the former champions, what you gonna do, huh?" Then Tama Tonga steps in front of Solo. And Braun Strowman gets in Tama Tonga's face. And he goes, "Hey, big boy, why don't you pick on someone your own size?" And then him and Braun Strowman go forehead to forehead. And Solo like, "Come on, no, leave him alone. He ain't worth it." And then Braun Strowman does smack Tama Tonga in the face. And Tama Tonga, like, he takes the face and he just angrily glares across at Braun. And Braun's like, come on. And Solo, ushers him away. He went, "Not now." '85, big old Blu-ray opening match from the God, of course. But yes, the pearly gates are opened up, and we are witness to something very, very, very rare. A clash between gods. The Messiah and Kyle O'Reilly, the God, battling out for the television championship that may as well be the goddamn omnipotent championship right now. But it is Kyle O'Reilly who retains the championship, pinning the Messiah with a brainbuster in 11:24. 93 for Kyle, 68 for Moose. Obviously, Moose had his apostle Apollo Crews at ringside with him. And Kyle O'Reilly had Kevin Owens. And I imagine KO did stunner Apollo at some point. In my mind, Apollo didn't do anything. Like, he was just there watching and cheering on Moose. And then KO just saw him storm around the side of the ring and just dropped him with a stunner for no reason. Which actually would have given us a near fall, as like Kyle O'Reilly watches, like, what the hell are you doing? Turns around and Moose nearly beats him. But then, Kyle kicks out and then eventually has a win with the brainbuster. After the match, our two gods, they do shake hands. And then Kevin Owens gets to the ring and he's like clapping like really loud and obnoxiously, like, "Yes, way to go, Kyle, yes, that's why they call you the God, you see, that's why you're the best television champion, let's go, that's why you earned that championship, that's why you're the guy, Kyle, that's why you're the champion." And he's like, "Kevin, relax, like, yes, I won, it was a good retention, but like, chill." We then cut backstage. Kelly Kincaid, my guest at this time, he is the new ECW World Champion, Warden. She says, "Now, Warden, this is your first night back on top of the ECW mountain, and you've requested this time to speak your mind." And Warden goes, "Kelly, for 10 months, I've been battling Roman Reigns and his trash-ass bloodline. Ever since Holiday Hell last year when he cost me the championship. And now, both them Uso boys, I beat them from pillar to post. Roman Reigns, I dropped him where he stood. And now, I am the world champion again, and there's no bloodline around here to stop me being champion, because, Kelly, this is my world now, Warden's world. Everybody out there's been living it for the last year, but now it's official. This championship over my shoulder tells everybody what I am. The best, the most dominant, the most powerful man on ECW. And there's not a damn member of this locker room, Samoan or not, who can take this from me." Let me hear more clapping. And then that's when Solo and his bloodline do walk into frame. And he goes, "Good job, Warden. I was rooting for you against Roman Reigns. But that championship there, that's key to being the guy here on ECW. So sit back and watch tonight in our main event, because Kelly, Tala Tonga is making his in-ring debut in tonight's main event. Braun Strowman, he wants someone to pick on someone his own size. Well, you're his own size. So tonight, Braun, you and Tala Tonga in that ring." And he storms off. He sort of like side-eyes Warden as he walks past. Warden and Solo sort of like just side-eye each other. But yeah, Tala Tonga and Braun Strowman is our main event tonight. I'm not sure what it's going to score, because obviously this is his first match. But his stats are pretty good. And he's got like 45 pop, which isn't a lot, but also isn't super low. It's not like Jada Parker Megasis low when they debuted. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But also, I want it to be the main event because it just feels like the main event. We then cut back to Blair Davenport. We see highlights of Blair Davenport versus Florence from the pay-per-view. Then we cut to the locker room. Blair Davenport sat in her locker room, sort of just contemplating to herself. When we hear the door open and we just see like the silhouette of somebody sitting next to Blair in the chair, she sort of turns across and she goes, "Can I help you?" And it's not Florence, it is Ruby Riott. Ruby's just there, low key kind of grinning, but shaking her head as she looks across at Blair Davenport. Just, man, Auckland, huh? Didn't go your way. And Blair goes, "Yes, I know. You need to rub it in, all right? I thought I had her. Florence, me and her, I've been studying her for years. We go way back, all the way back to our days in Japan. So I thought if anybody knew Florence and what she could do in that ring, it was me, but I guess not." Ruby goes, "Well, Florence, I think she got what she wanted because she got a nice win in Auckland against you. She took advantage of you, knowing that you wanted to wrestle in your home country. Just a week after you'd lost a shot to be the $1 Million Champion, might I add. Your mindset was already low, and yet, you were given that opportunity and you lost it, Blair. That doesn't sound like a very good friend to me. That sounds like somebody who sees you as disposable when you're not going to help her out. In fact, don't take my word for it. Take the recent matches where Florence teamed up with Kelsey Cook. Okay, the spooky witch bitch. She picked her over you. You were the only choice for Florence when she needed somebody she thought she could beat. And she did that. So now here you sit. Clearly it's taken its toll on you. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit back there and let Florence walk all over you like a bad friend would? Or are you going to stick the knife in her back before she gets the chance to do it to you officially? But hey, I'm sure this is all already going on up here. You know exactly where I'm coming from. So I'm just going to leave you in your locker room. Have a good evening, Blair. 93, let's go. That's why this match became a series, and matches with Mustafa Ali and Karrion Kross and Joe Gacy did not. But yes, we're now one apiece in this series. Mustafa Ali does cheat to defeat ZSJ using the ropes for leverage in 15:42. 90 for both men and a 93 for the match. So yeah, nice little mid-card match, if I do say so myself. Speaking of Kelsey Cook, we see her. She's out in some sort of field. It's just a video package of her out in a field. The lights, it's all colourful. She's probably not dressed in her all black gear, just out in normal colour clothes. Running her hand across the tall grass or whatever. And then the lighting starts to shift. It goes all dark. We like see flashes of her in her black clothing or whatever. Let me hear a voice over this like, "You came so close. You did us proud. In our absence, you reminded the world who you were. Now, you as an individual are stronger, which in turn makes us stronger." And then there was like, "It's time to come home." And the shot is like Kelsey, she's fully in her black gear now, and then she lifts her head up with her evil black makeup on. And yeah, spooky Kelsey video. Time to come home. Then cut back to Sasha Banks. She's on the phone. She goes, What do you mean she won?" "Okay, well, first of all, did you tell her all of that stuff that I told you to tell her?" "You did?" And she said no? Well, kids these days, they don't respect their elders and those more powerful than them. So, Kiana, here's what I want you to do. I want you to... I'll call you back. And then Paul Heyman walks up and goes, "Champ, it's good for you to finally show your face back around here, you know, after missing last week's show and our premium live event offering in Auckland." So she goes, "Yeah, well, you know, even CEOs have to come to work sometimes." He goes, "Yes, not only CEOs, but champions, Sasha. Now, I may not get involved every now and again with everyday business here on ECW, but when I need to, I will. And Sasha Banks, I'm here to flatter your ego because you are arguably the biggest women's wrestling star here on ECW." Sasha goes, "What do you mean, arguably?" "But that championship needs to be defended, and it's going to be defended tonight. So I've got you an open contract to be signed by any woman in the back, and that match will take place later on tonight." Sasha goes, What? Excuse me, I barely even got my gear here. Kim, go fetch my gear." So yeah, Sasha Banks, $1 million championship defense coming up later on tonight. The Paragon, well, I say the Paragon's music. Dolph Ziggler's music hits, and out come the Paragon. They're getting booed. Dolph takes the mic and he goes, "So, I take it you guys didn't like the gift I gave Adam Cole on Saturday night. Well, here's why. Everything Adam Cole has said about this group was true. You know, the reason why Cesaro and the Fritz brothers and JC Jane and hell, even Bobby, when he was here, joined this group was because they were these underrated superstars that needed that big opportunity to finally break through here on ECW. And yet here comes Adam Cole every single week, and how does he come out here? He takes the microphone, he says, "Story time of Adam Cole, baby. Adam Cole, baby, story this. Adam Cole, baby, story that." How is that benefiting anybody else? Adam Cole's stocks, they may have risen, but we all became his puppets. Cesaro, one of the most talented wrestlers of this generation, one of the single most underrated superstar to ever do it here in WWE. Nothing more than a hitman for Adam Cole. David, Kevin, the Fritz brothers, part of one of the most legendary tag team bloodlines in the history of professional wrestling. Most of you probably forgot they were here, because when it was tag team action time, it was me and it was Claudio put up to that task because Adam Cole wanted to feel higher up and better than us. Because if there was two of us working to do one job and one Adam Cole working to do one job, then surely Adam Cole, baby, knows everything that's going on. And he's the leader, right? Right? And then there's JC Jane. JC, she came in here, she was toxic. That right there should give you away that where her loyalties lie is with herself and not with others. Now, I'd love to sit here and say this was some master plan from me when I was forced to join this godforsaken group back at WrestleMania. I would love to take credit for that. But I can't. Because, to be quite honest with you, I never really realized how horrible Adam Cole's Paragon was until I was actually on the inside. And I'm glad everybody else here, including the people that he brought in to be his hired gun in Claudio, can see that. So this isn't a paragon about Adam Cole Bebe's story. This isn't a paragon about Adam Cole Bebe full stop. Because this chapter of the book is closed and we're opening up a brand new one. In this one, we are what we say we are. Everybody in this paragon is an equal. And together, we will rise to the top. Not behind Adam Cole. Not as Adam Cole's stablemates. Together as a unit. Now, I was the first ECW champion of this championship's lineage when the show was brought back last year. And I will once again be ECW champion, not because of Cesaro, not because of David Fritz and Kevin Fritz, not because of JC Jane, but for Cesaro, for the Fritz, for JC, and for the Paragon. Then get a quick backstage interview. It's in Gorilla. Kelly's with Liv Morgan and Sonya Deville. And Kelly goes, Liv, Sonya, you requested this interview time ahead of your match coming up next. What's going on in your mind? And so I was like, Kelly, to be quite honest with you, both myself and Liv, 4 years ago, we were both the future of this division. We were both women's world champions. But recently, in the last few months since coming to ECW, we've sort of hit rock bottom. Both of us individually. Now, we've teamed up in the past before against common enemies, but this ECW tag team division, it's wide open. And there's plenty of room for two Jersey Devils like us to find our feet here in this division. And then Liv takes the mic and she's like, so Kelly, tonight is the start of a brand new chapter in this women's tag team division, led by Sonya and by myself. So yeah, Sonya Deville, Liv Morgan, let's go full in with their tag team, because they sure as shit aren't doing anything as single stars, and let's see if being in a team can make them get better. 54. Oh, that's Bren Sinclair and Brinley Reese chemistry, I was going to say. It's like, I didn't realise that Sonya and Liv had chemistry. See, already, Liv got 70 on Heat, but in a team she's getting a 75, and, yeah. Again, yeah, the story is these two women, 4 years ago were both champions. My opinion on both women, based on real-life situations, has plummeted. So, stick them together, see what they can do, make them just some numbers on a spreadsheet, and see if they can be good in my game. But yeah, the Jersey Devils, as they're called, defeat Brinley Reese and Ren Sinclair. Liv pinning Ren with an Oblivion. 69 for Sonya, 75 for Liv, 44 for Ren, 27 for Brinley. So yeah, nice match. After the match, Sonya and Liv, they raise each other's arms up, they're celebrating. Then the lights go down, and then Alba Fire and, I forgot to put them on screen, but Alba Fire and Iona Webb appear on the Titantron, like in some dark, spooky room. And Alba's like, congratulations, girls. You said this ECW tag team division was wide open. But, to me, it's not, because this is our division. Unwelcomed guests aren't allowed in our division unless we say so. And then Iona Webb just starts laughing. She's like, but it's fine. We'll roll the welcome mat out for you, because, to be quite honest, we're bored of the same teams here. We could choose some fresh meat in this tag team division. So Liv, Sonya, welcome aboard. So yeah, not such a great greeting from the Witches, the Unholy Union. We then see cut backstage, Kevin Owens and Kyle O'Reilly still celebrating. Kevin's clapping him when he goes, "Yes, Kyle, that's what I'm talking about. ECW Television Championship still around your waist. I see why they call you the God. Like, I was out there watching your match. Incredible stuff, Kyle. You know, I always knew that you were incredible in that ring, but watching it up close after I've been away from you for such a long time, it was so impressive." He goes, "Kevin, stop. Look, I'm not oblivious, right? I'm omnipotent. I'm omniscient. Which one is the word? But all-knowing. Omniscient, I believe, is, yeah. Because omnipresent is all, yeah. So, yeah. I'm omniscient, Kevin, as only a god can be. I see what you're doing." And, I was waiting, you know, till I could be free and clear to do it. So, Kevin, next week, I'll be defending my ECW Television Championship again. Against you. And Kevin goes, "Me? Oh, Kyle, you didn't have to choose me. You know, me and I are best friends, but, since you insist, buddy, I'll see you next week, okay?" And he walks off, and Kyle O'Reilly just goes, "Yeah, all you had to do was ask, Kev, all you had to do was ask." Now he turns around, and Susie's there, staring at him all awkwardly. Or not awkwardly, but, like, creepily. And then Carl's, like, expression suddenly just drops as soon as he sees Susie. She sort of just waves at him. She, like, rubs her hand up against the championship. He goes, This is what gives you all that power? This is what makes you feel like a god? Gods aren't real. You know who you are." $78 rated match. Sasha makes her next defense of the $1 Million Championship, this time against Shantae Washington. And Sasha pins her in 12:55, handful of tights, 86 for Sasha, 69 for Shantae. And yeah, interestingly, it was Shantae answering this open challenge and not Naomi. Like, I guess Naomi let Shantae just have the shot. Sheamus promo. He's in a pub somewhere. He goes, These are the streets I grew up in. Back in Dublin, we had a very, very easy way of life. Fight or fight. You had no bleeding choice. Every old weekend down the pub, you had a fight. You threw a geezer over the bar and you necked a pint, and that's how you became best friends. Just check out me and Drew McIntyre, for example. You see, these are the mean streets that a pretty boy like Austin Theory would never know. Theory's got to get the jump on a fella like me because he knows face-to-face, man-to-man. He could never cut it in these streets. So, Theory, you think you're a tough guy, huh? You think you're the future of this company? You're a bleeding new next world champion? Prove it to me. Get me face to face. None of this behind my back bullshit. None of this disqualification BS. You and I, next week. Let's have a good old-fashioned Donnybrook. And yeah, there it is, official for next week. Sheamus and Austin Theory after a couple of weeks of issues between the two. And yeah, it's Sheamus against Austin Theory in a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. And that'll be a nice little thing. Plus, the ECW Television Championship is on the line. Kevin Owens, after weeks of passive-aggressive pleading with Kyle O'Reilly, does finally get his shot to become the ECW Television Champion after a rather impressive Iron Non-Survivor Championship Scramble showing back at High Voltage. And batten down the hatches, the Tribal Chief, the OTC, Roman Reigns, is back, and he will be on ECW next week. 71. I don't know what I expected, but I think that's better. Tama Tonga gets a 61, Braun gets a 68, okay. I probably should have booked in a creative finish for this, but I didn't. But anyway, so Braun and Tama Tonga, they have a big meaty man brawl. You know, there's a power slam spot in there from both men, and yeah, Braun does. He goes to the outside. He does the big Braun Strowman train, run around the ring move, wipes out Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. And then when he gets back into the ring, like at some point, Braun does go up top, and he looks like he's about to hit a big splash on Tama Tonga. But then Tama Tonga does spring to life, or probably solo distracts Braun, and then Tama Tonga springs to life. He grabs Braun Strowman by the throat as he's on the top rope, and he choke slams him off the top rope to the center of the ring, and the ring caves in. It doesn't break. It's not the ring break spot, you know, the famous ring break spot they always do. It's the ring caves in spot. Tama Tonga choke slams Braun, and the ring caves in, and Braun's just laying there in a pit in the middle of the ring. The referees come in. They ring the bell. Tama Tonga is declared the winner by, I guess, stoppage, knockout, whatever you want to call it. And like as the medics are checking on Braun, he's in this hole in the middle of the ring. Tama Tonga is just there, arm up in the air, you know, ones in the sky. That's when after the match, the medics do rush out. Joe Hendry runs out to check on Braun as like they try and help this big man up. And then Solo and Tama Tonga do leave the ring. And as they do, Paul Heyman's coming out because, you know, this is his show after all. Like, I know he's the wise man a lot, but he's also does run ECW. So as Heyman comes out to check on, you know, Braun and the state of his show, like him and Solo sort of cross paths on the stage. And Solo sort of stops Heyman, like puts his hand on his shoulder. He goes, That was a warning. You tell your tribal chief to stay at home next week, to cancel his flight, or else Tama Tonga will do that to him. And then the Bloodline walk off, and then like the last shot is Heyman looking worried in the ring as Joe Hendry and a bunch of medics check on Braun in the ring. But then, like, we get the producer graphics plop up on the bottom of the screen, and then like we do get a cut backstage. We hear like a loud thud backstage, and like maybe even one of the medics checking on Braun runs to the back, like as a little like secret Easter egg for you to look out for before we actually cut to the next segment. But we then cut to the back, and we see Florence just laid out in the back, probably with a bloody face, I imagine. So yeah, chaos to end ECW. Gets a 73. Whatever, I thought this show was good, but I wanted to end it with Tama Tonga. So sue me, I guess. What matters more is what you thought. If from an in-game perspective, I should have made Mustafa Ali versus ZSJ, but that's not how I book, and you know that by now. Anyway, what matters more is what you thought of the show. Do leave in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for SmackDown. SmackDown does, unfortunately, have a new Women's World Champion. Utami High Sister of Queendom Omega did cash in on Dakota Kai in her home country at Auckland Assault. See you then.